Ava, and these are my point shoe hacks. So these are a new pair. They're crowns. And first I like to just step on them, get them nice and broken in. So I usually step on the box. And then I'll just bend it a little bit. Here's some cracks, you know, the good snap, crackle, pop. Then I just step right here, pressing down, kind of aggressively. And then there's usually a nail right at the top that I like to take out. Sometimes you have to get a little aggressive here, a little messy too. Then just take your scissors, pull that out. Then there's usually a little piece right here that I tend to cut out. And then I'll take the scissors and just cut probably about an inch, maybe a little less. Those always end up around my house too, so be careful to clean those up. And then I'll usually go back one more time and step, flipping them over this time. So now the sole faces up, and I like to step on them again, just to really make sure they're broken in. My sewing is really messy, so don't judge that, but I like to sew. I don't know if you can see that, but it's very all over the place, just a few stitches, just to make sure it's secure. And it's pretty close to the end of the shoe. I don't leave a lot of room. I don't sew here. I sew closer to the heel just so it stays on tighter. And then for my ribbons, I like to sew closer up to this seam right here, just so that that's exactly where it's gonna pull on the arch to really help lift up the shoe there. I like to use this, which is not really sewing for point shoes, but it's like yarn, but in my opinion, it holds tighter. It's also pink, so that's a plus. I wear elastic ribbons, so they stretch a little bit, so they help to really pull up your ankle. That's all I do for a sewn pair. I like to wear callus cushions, like big horn pads, right on the sole of that second metatarsal, just because it helps protect my metatarsals, which I've previously had injuries with. So I use this second skin just to tape on my pinky toe for my blisters. I definitely can't take a class without second skin on because it's pretty painful. And after I put those two things on, I slip on these. They're very old. These are like a year old. So don't look at them. They're taped and they look like I have a new pair that I have to make, but these are perfect fit points that I wear in my point shoes. Like, look at them. They're gross. The list of makers that I say, like, I really can't wear is like endless. And that's because I'm really picky with my point shoes. And a lot of dancers are because, you know, they're your instrument. My favorites are Crown, which I have here. This is my last pair of crowns that I have. So these are precious shoes. It's amazing to be able to receive point shoes at SAB. I think it's really special, especially when you see the younger kids get their shoes, especially towards the beginning of the year when they're getting their first pairs. It feels so good to see the young kids so happy and inspired because we were all once there. By giving to the SAB Toe Shoe Fund, you can help me and my classmates stay on our toes.